All right, 1.5 volts. We're giving it all she's got. Yeah. I want to put some music on now. All right, so we've got a clean system here. I still need to overclock the processor. I need to get the RAM running in XMP. I'm showing you guys a live output from the bench rig right here. It's going into my laptop that you guys can't see. Let's do it. Despacito. You want me to put Despacito? All right, so we've got a 3700X with 16 gigs of Micron eDie, 3600 XMP. And we're already frozen. That's it. It's all over. Explorer died. Explorer already crashed. I just booted the system once. It's gone. It's dead. Big oof. I can't even control delete. It's gone. Let me power cycle this thing. Oh, also the power button doesn't really work either for some reason. Apex? We'll get Apex, buddy. Let's get the everything tuned up real quick first and see how high this thing will clock before it dies. Dude, I actually had to clear the CMOS on this thing. So this is a bench machine that I built the OS on like, I don't know, maybe 6 or 8 months ago, and I haven't turned it on until today. So it'll be a learning experience to see what we need to do. All right, it's down. All right, so crazy thing. This motherboard will not stay powered on if I leave the power button connected to the motherboard. So we just need to jump it real quick. There we go. Mash delete. I need to people just mash for like Apex. Someone said Fortnite. I don't really, I don't know about that. I need to deactivate the cam link and reactivate because it's stupid. Oh shit, I didn't even think about that. You guys won't be able to see what I'm doing in the BIOS because I've got the card going out of 2 inputs. One input goes to the monitor, and one output from the video card goes to the monitor, and one goes to the capture card. And I don't have a pass-through capture card, so we need to actually. Well, no, I'm not going to do that. Okay, let me just set XMP at least on this system real quick, so that way we get some normal bench numbers. We can also overclock and Rising Master or something. All right, rebooting, bring it back up. All I did was enable XMP, gives it 3600 megahertz, and I know this board will do 1-to-1 on the Infinity Fabric with this processor. So let's see how it works. It's a pretty MSI card. Yeah, this is the Ventus. I don't think it's the OC model. Ventus 3X 10G OC. It is the pre-overclocked model. Okay. All right, we're back at the desktop. Let's put Ryzen Master on here. You want to see how much we can crank the power limit on this model? Dude, it just says 100%. Let me make sure that... Hold on. Unlock voltage control. Yeah, dude, this is the new Ampere Afterburner skin. It's pretty dope. I dig it. Master real quick. This is a 3700X, I think. Honestly, I don't remember. Like I said, I haven't turned this machine on in quite some time. Let's open up hardware info. It says it's limited to 100%. Okay, thanks, son. All right, hang on one sec, guys. Let me set up a couple of things. Hi, Wolfie, are you in here?
Yeah, he's right there.
What's overclocking? Stuff. So we're gonna take this card. You know, you get a card from the factory, and it's got certain limits on it. How much its frequency, how much power draw it's got. We're gonna push it to the max until it starts to break and becomes unstable. So you know, core voltage percentage. Obviously, we're just gonna put it. Dude, where the heck is apply on this skin? Here we go. Let's take a look at Ryzen Master also. Here's how did you manage to get the 3080? Dude, with this Discord. So I came up, you know, with the running those distill scripts and did a bunch of modification stuff to it, and then had it webhook into the Discord server, so that way anytime something came in stock, it sent me a push notification. And then on the 16th, which is the day before the release, Newegg was stupid and accidentally listed a card, so I bought it. Using, you know, the script notified me that a card was live, so I bought that. I was like, okay, cool. Let's see if this actually ships. And then later that day, they put another card up for sale, which was the Gigabyte Eagle, I think. And I went ahead and purchased that. So I actually purchased two 3080s the day before release, which was pretty cool. So then after I got the shipping notification that they actually shipped on the 17th, I went ahead and made the Discord open for everybody and started sharing the link around a little bit. And then I picked one up on launch day also from Newegg Business. We got the MSI Gaming X Trio coming. This is the Ventus, yes. All right. Let's just make sure. I just want to make sure the CPU thermals and stuff are fine. I haven't tested anything since I put this AIO on there. Just want to make sure it's actually working and see what our boost clocks are. Okay, so all core, under load, 4100. I know that this processor will do 4.3 all cores. The Ventus and the Eagle. Well, this is the Ventus. This is the first time that I've actually turned on the machine with this card in. And we got it yesterday, but it took a while to set everything up for this. You want me to Thanos snap the Discord? I might. We'll see how it is. It looks like the voltage is locked at 100% though for power limit. So that's pretty shitty. I'm thinking that, you know, we might have to find an unlocked BIOS somewhere once those start coming around. Just wanting to test out the CPU real quick just to make sure that I don't need to remount the cooler or something. It looks like 67 degrees, 4100 all core, whatever. All right. So I actually haven't installed anything yet. We're going to just do a Cinebench run real fast. Make sure that everything's stable. Yeah, I know that this thing, the CPU runs fine. I know that it'll do 4.3 all-core. I think it was 4.3 all-core, but like I said, it's been like 6 or 7 months since I've used this this processor and board. The Eagle does look funny. Yeah, it looks ugly, dude. There's like a that thing that pops out the top. It's a gross looking card. There's nothing nice about it, but it's a 3080. Do I have any thoughts on the Zotac? So, I mean, the Zotac card, everyone's shitting on it, right? Everyone's like, oh, it's a Zotac. It's like getting a PNY. Dude, it's a reference board. That's it. It's a reference board. It's the same as all the other fucking reference boards. There's nothing special to it, but there's nothing really bad about it. Maybe their support. I read really bad things about their support. Maybe you don't want to buy it because of that. If you have an RMA issue, you know, I've heard terrible stories on PC Master Race and Build a PC sales. Even some on Hardware Swap. So, but I mean, it's probably going to run just the same as any other reference card was going to run. And it looks like it's pretty close to the FE in terms of performance anyways. It's not the same as other reference designs. So what other reference design is it not the same as? What are the reference designs right now? You've got the Zotac, you've got the PNY, and I think like that eye color thing. Yeah, no, I've seen that. That's not a reference thing though. That's like a cooler thing. And for me, I should preface it with I always go for a reference card because I always put everything on water. My rig has a custom loop in it with hardline and stuff, and I always water block everything. All right, so 4600. I guess that's fine. It ran without crashing. That's what I was just checking and making sure. So we should have. $3D Mark. Let's go ahead and install 3D Mark right now. Yes, to Madre. I am to Madre. Personally, I want an FE. I think that would look really sick with one of those tiny water blocks for it. I think that's going to be the play for me. I don't know what cards are you guys going to get. What if you guys could pick? If there was stock in if every card was stocked right now, what would you buy? FE, the For the Win 3, yeah. I mean, the Hydro Copper, I'm also kind of interested in the Hydro Copper, which is a 4 to 1 3 usually with a block on it. But the thing is that it looks like there's so little headroom for overclocking right now. Hang on, guys, the pizza's here. All right, we needed the pizza pie. FE hot? FE doesn't look too hot. I mean, it looks like it does a pretty good job for what it is, and it seems to be remarkably silent. So I get the Gaming X in the Gaming X Trio in on Tuesday, and I'm pretty excited about seeing how quiet that is. It looks so far in the reviews that seems to kind of be the goat for in terms of quiet and cooling at the same time. But that's going to be a fat ass card. Oh, but here's my thing about getting the about the For the Win 3 is that it seems like an awesome card, right? For the Win 3s are always really good cards, really good cooling, really good power delivery. But the thing is that this 8 nanometer core, it does not look like it overclocks very much at all. Between all the cards you see reviewers doing like plus 90 megahertz, plus 20 megahertz, plus 50 megahertz, and then everything dies. Any chances on the 3090? I don't know. See, that one's different because it's like, how many people are going to buy a $1,500 MSRP card versus an $800 card? I think that the demand is way higher for the 3080 than it is going to be for the 3090, but at the same time, NVIDIA knows that, so they're not going to make as many 3090s as they have 3080s. The real play is going to be the 3070. I think that's really going to be the sweet spot for people. You know, that $500 mark, being able to quote unquote match a 2080 Ti. Sure, maybe in RTX, is it going to hit it in rasterization? I don't know. That's going to be interesting. You have the MSI Ventus OC coming soon. That's what this is. Yeah, so let's go ahead and see what it does. Waiting for 3D Mark here. Yeah, I'm worried that, it's just since, I don't know, I'd say since Pascal, like the 1080 Ti series, 1080 series. When did I get mine? I bought two of them the day before launch on the 16th. Is the Discord bot set up for the 3090? Not yet, but I will when we get closer. It would be really funny if Newegg lists a 3090 for sale on their site before launch, like they did with the 3080s. But with ever since Pascal, it seems like overclocking is continuing to die. What did I reference to write the bot? So I didn't. It's just a customized distill plugin script, but with a ton of hours poured into. There's a Newegg warehouse near you. You should go rate it. With a ton of hours poured into making it work correctly and stuff like that. Okay, so how do you get the? I've never used the skin yet. It just came out today or yesterday. Where's the? Okay, it's a little bit different. That Afterburner skin is pretty fire though. All right, so let's just fucking run it. Yeah, the 900 series was probably the last one where power delivery actually made a difference. But ever since Pascal and whatever they call NVIDIA Boost 3.0 or whatever bullshit name they gave it, it's kind of been luck of the draw on did you get a good chip or did you get a bad chip? So for 2080 Ti, first time buyer, normally how long does it take to get something like this? Dude, this was a terrible launch. They should not have launched it yet. I think that hey, you're welcome. I think that they shouldn't have launched it and they should have waited, but they really wanted to make sure that they got their numbers out before Big Navi and their pricing out before Big Navi. This has been the best experience ever. This has been, yes, it's been fantastic. There's nothing greater. Where's the FPS counter? Oh, it's loud? Let me turn it down. You know what? I'm also running RTX voice on this microphone, so it should be coming through. Come on. Let us sample sound in 3D Mark. Gotcha, yeah. Video capture device, audio, music, go rating. Alright, there we go. How's that? We good? Great. Cool. Yeah. So the thing is that they came out to launch with this, and it sounds like they didn't have the stock or availability. You can blame bots all we want, but really it's the fact that there were not enough cards at launch for everybody. And this was a highly sought after launch too, because you have a $699 card that's supposed to beat out a $1,200 card. A day before launch, if you bought a 2080 Ti, you paid $1,200 for it. So this $699 card is fire. It's supposed to beat out this $1,200 card, something that's almost double the cost. So obviously everybody wanted to jump on it, and especially people who didn't have the funds or the sensibility, or lack thereof, to buy a 2080 Ti to say, oh, look at this card. This is going to be able to stomp, last gen's top, and it's not even directly replacing the 2080 Ti. This is just replacing the 2080. Yeah, so I mean, if that's the case, I mean, who knows what their supply was or what the constraints were, but if it was the actual fab, then obviously they're not going to have enough cards at launch. But they really were pushing to get it out, I think, before the console sales went up, before we started seeing console reviews, before you started seeing big Navi reviews. So that way they can show, hey, let's get the hype train rolling on this. We'll want everybody's going to want to buy this instead of, big Navi whenever it comes out to match 2080 Ti performance or whatever it's going to be. And they probably put it at $699 just to fuck with AMD. Is a 39 worth it? For playing games, I don't know about that, but if you have a real use for it, then sure. Personally, I wouldn't spend $1,500 on a card. I mean, I might, but not for personal use. I would never spend $1,500 on a card. I didn't even buy a 2080 Ti brand new. I bought a used one on eBay and threw a water block on it. So what we're doing right now is we're just going to run through 3D Mark times Spy and get a baseline. We're going to see what our clocks were, what our temps were, what the power limit was, and what the results were. After that, then we'll start stepping it up, I don't know, 20 megahertz at a time and see what happens. Also, typically, you want to clock your core independently of overclocking the memory. Do one thing at a time. So that way you can find out what the stability is for each component before you start pushing everything all at once. So we'll go ahead and start overclocking the core, I don't know, 20, 25 megahertz at a time. Once we find the sweet spot on that and we start to crash, we'll back it off maybe 5 megahertz or something like that. Find our stable point, and then we'll go to memory overclocking. Yeah, definitely. Um, Also, I should have. Well, no, this. I don't think this is an adaptive sync monitor. So this is just a 4K 60 hertz Samsung display. Typically, also you need to make sure that you have VSync and G-Sync turned off before you start benching. But as you can see, we're at the 34, 33 FPS anyway, so it's not going to matter. You made it. Good job. All right, so we got a 15797. Let's cap that. Hey, thanks, man. I really appreciate you guys hopping on the Patreon and support me that way. I did pour quite a bit of hours into it, but it's also been a fun experience for me. Um, getting to, I've never set up a Discord server. I've never, set up all this crazy stuff. So it's been a lot of fun. All right. Let's see. Oh, do you have to log into this? I forget. What do other 3080 benches look like? Let's see. No, no, no. Oh, the reviews temporarily. Okay, hold on. 380 Mark 3080. Where's the? Is this it? Here we go. So somebody, what's the page you go to see what cards people are running? Where the hell is that? I forget what that is. Whatever. All right, so it's a valid score anyways, whatever. Get out of here. Gee whiz. All right. Let's take a look. Frick is that? So I like this new skin. I just don't know how to do anything in it. Where the frick are the? Where's the other window? All right, you know what? I'm sorry. I like this skin. It's really cool, but I don't know where any of the buttons are. Where's it? All right. So let's see. We were hitting temps of 73 degrees. It looks like the card topped out at 73 degrees, and it was averaging around 1800 megahertz, 1850, 1875. Let's see, we were boosting up to 2000 megahertz here. The max power limit was 100%, yeah. So I plan on leaving it up for a bit. Yeah, sure. I mean the Patreon thing's there if you guys want to support it, but I'm not here to I'm not doing this just to have a Patreon and make money off of it. Like if you guys want to support the work that I did and continue to do, then awesome. I really appreciate it. If not, then you know, whatever, be a plebeian. At least sub to the YouTube channel. You have the link. How can you send it to me? What link? You can try. I think I have links allowed in here. Oh God. So 3dmark.com/search. Sweet. Thank you, Z Danger. All right. So highest score 18,000. That's probably sub-ambient or something like that. Average score was 15,762. What did we get? We got 15,797. So hey, at least we're above average. All right, that's what my mom used to tell me. I was above average. Yeah, the lockdown power limit is definitely trash. I am really, really hoping that that we see some unlocked BIOSes come out because that's very disappointing. In fact, maybe we'll just try to flash a BIOS on it. Maybe we'll try that. Okay. So we did. Let's see. Do you actually see online what we hit as far as frequency? So average clock frequency was 1864. Okay. Let's run again. We're going to throw an extra 20 megahertz on. And see what that gives us. Have you guys been looking at benchmark numbers? I really haven't. I haven't really followed. I usually follow like all the coverage on cards and stuff like that, but with running the Discord server and the bots and all that stuff, it's been a lot. So I really haven't even looked or paid attention to reviews much. But what are average boost clocks coming out to? Like or after OCs? I mean, are people actually hitting that 2000 megahertz? Is it staying around 1900? Either way, let's roll again. And also, I mean, I'm not overclocking the CPU hard here or anything like that. This CPU is not going to get us um, the top of the line 3D Mark points. Why aren't I updating 3D Mark? Because that takes extra time. I should. In fact, I think this 3D Mark was probably downloaded about 6 months ago. Yeah, maybe. That's totally possible. We'll check hardware info after this and make sure. Well, I mean, we got to even see if it's showing up in there properly. I might need to update that also. $20.50 on air. Is that average? Did we crash? We crashed. Really? No way. Plus 20 megahertz made us crash? This is a 4K bench. I think. There's no way plus 20 megahertz made us crash. Are you kidding? Dude, that's like the smallest over. Who wants this card? Who wants this? You guys, only plus $300 markup and it's yours. Overclocking is dead. It's so bad. I'm so sad. It's a paperweight. It's literally unplayable. Literally unplayable. If I can't hit plus 100 on a card, I give up. I'm done. I'm going to mobile gaming. I'm playing PUBG Mobile. Mobile gamers gonna rise up. The toilet gamers, definitely. Wait, do you actually have a Zotac that hit? And did you actually go plus 170 on it? Dude, where's my? I need to make sure that the RTS server is actually running and throwing an overlay and shit. Samsung fridge gamers, yeah, for sure. I know the 3080s. I mean, there's not a whole lot of overhead. That's is what it seems like. Well, yeah. So even the 2080 Ti's and the rest of the 20 series had some overhead room. The from what I've seen with the 3080s, it's very limited. Yeah, so I've got Afterburner running in the background. That's obviously recording the temperatures. But let me get the overlay up and running. I just want to wait for this to finish. I'm pretty sure. I mean that section of Time Spy looked like it crashed, right? After driver fixes. Are you talking about with the 2080 Ti? What's the thermal limit on these? Dude, I don't know. I cranked it up to the max. We should probably run this with full fan speed. Also, I didn't even think about that. I haven't run a card on air for years. So I think the last card I ran on air was like a 970. Can driver self them OC better? I don't know about that, dude. It really comes down to like how good of a bin you got. How loud are the fans? Dude, so they don't seem very loud, but at the same time, I can't really tell because my I'm streaming off of my laptop right now, and it's that okay. We didn't crash. All right, never mind. I thought we crashed. It's a valid score. We didn't crash. Good. All right. So we're gonna say this is plus 20, plus 24. So that was a very small improvement. It's no 18,000, but let's see what we can do. Also, is Riva Tuner running? Primo Chill has the blocks on their sites? Yeah, 797 to 883, I think. I think you're correct there. All right, good. Let's turn on. I always hate going through this. In fact, here, and what else we're going to do? We're going to take fan speed off of auto, and we're just going to crank it. So that way we're not being cucked by the thermal throttling. Oh boy. Oh boy, that's loud. Those are pretty loud. You guys, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's loud. Monitoring on right, okay. GPU voltage, show an on-screen display. GPU temperature, show an OSD. Core clock, yes. Yes. We'll look at power percent, yes. Power percent, power, GPU voltage. No. We'll also take a look at CPU temperature. I like to monitor that in OSD, CPU usage in OSD, and RAM usage. We can also see frame rates, showing OSD, and where is frame times? Here we go. All right. So hopefully this helps us look a little bit less like noobs. Can't wait for water blocks on these. Yeah. RTX voice is doing its job. Good. Great. Hey, that means that RTX voice is working on my 1650 in my laptop. Pretty cool. So hardware info. If we go to I think we need to update this. We need to update hardware info. Yeah, we're going to update hardware info. We're going to update installer. Might not need a block. Well, so for me, it's like even if I can't OC it very much, I want whenever I have 100% CPU and GPU load, I want it to be silent. And I throw my fans. I've got a bunch of Be Quiet silent wings, and I'm running them at I don't know 950 RPM, maybe 1,000 RPM max. And I don't want to hear my rig when I'm gaming. Here we go. Now we got GPU. Input voltage. Oh, we can also see, that's right. They made it to where you can see the input power per GPU pin. So, bam. You can't hear your rig fans if you already have industrial fans in your house? Yeah. Yeah, Afterburner is updated. I just downloaded the latest version before running this, and it's got that cool new Ampere skin, but I'm not messing around with it because I don't know where anything is at, and I feel like a dummy trying to hit buttons in it, and I don't know where they're at. Let's also, Let's just update this. Where's the update button? How many of you guys actually water cool your rigs? Does an AIO count as water cooling? If you really wanted to, but no. I mean, it's really not the same. It honestly, it's not the same. It's better than air cooling, maybe, but it's not a custom. So this check for updates button, it didn't really do anything. In fact, I could have swore I downloaded the latest version, but I don't. Yes, so I have a smart. So I've got a smart. I've got this plugged into a smart plug, and give me a sec here. I've got it plugged into a smart plug, but I haven't plugged this smart plug in like a year or two. So, any tips for first-time custom loop with hard tubing? Buy extra hard tubing. You're going to fuck up. Have patience. Yeah. Yeah, Z Danger and I both did hardline around the same time for the first time, and it was a lot different than using soft tubing, and I'm probably never hardlining again. I'm going to go back to doing soft tubing. Because one, I really like it. Hardline looks super cool. It looks awesome. It's sick. But I'm probably never going to use it again. Just because I like the quick disconnects on soft tubing and being able to quickly rip out a card or rip out a CPU block or change something out real quick and have quick disconnects on everything. So you got a 1080 and you're thinking of getting a 3070, dude. The 3070 is going to be quite the beast. There's no advantages to it except it looks better. That's it. It does. It looks awesome. It's sexy, but oh wait, it says I've got a firmware update for the smart plug and it's not letting me get out of it. And if I do that, I think that it might take this rig down. Bear with me for just a sec. Okay, here we go. Yes, so we've got power consumption and max usage and stuff. This webcam is really crappy, but I'll let you guys know. And we're also on a 1200 watt power supply, so there's not going to be any like overcurrent protection or anything like that kicking in. All right, let's just run it. A dual loop system with hardline that sounds like AIDS. That's going to be that's so much. Oh, that's going to be so hard to maintain. And just like if you need to rip out like an NVMe, you're then going to have to drain 2 loops. And dude, that's going to be a nightmare. I recommend not doing that. Yeah, make sure it's big. Like at least like if you're going to do a dual loop system, the bare minimum is like the 011 XL. You're thinking about getting a 3090 since I can afford it and I don't think I'll be able to get a 3080. It depends, man. What is it? What resolution do you play at? What? Oh man, that RTS is so tiny. But hey, at least it's showing information now. Turn on the FPS counter in your YouTube stream. It's on. It's on now. We got it. Look at the top left. It's tiny, but it's there. 1440, but you might upgrade to 4K. I don't know, dude. If you go 4K, then you're going to have to go 4K 144. And that's going to be an expensive ass monitor on top of that expensive ass card. I think that most gamers, and it also depends. What kind of games do you play? Are you like only RPGs? Then go ahead and get a 4K 144 or whatever. If you play any competitive or something like that, I would say 1440, 144 is the sweet spot, and a 3080 is going to be able to take care of it. I will increase the size on Riva Tuner after this run. Well, fuck it. Let's just interrupt it. It's because we're running on a 4K monitor and it is tiny. Tiny text. So let's see if that helps. Let's just make it big. Whatever. Hey, we got a valid score of 0. Let's go again. You have a 1440 165? Dude, roll the 3080 and I don't know, man. Maybe wait for Zen 3 and see what those numbers are like and spend money on that instead. If you play on a 1080p, then just spend, I don't know, dude, buy a 3070 instead and a 1440p monitor. Yeah, much better. You have a 4K 120 OLED as well? Oh, dude. That sounds awesome. It's not hitting 100% usage all the time? Well, no. I mean, this is a DX12. Maybe it's, a CPU bottleneck at some point in time. So right now we're drawing, 200 watts? It does different stuff throughout different portions of the test. I mean, that's the point of it. Where's the CPU usage? Oh, okay, 60%, 40%. Sorry, everything's so big on my screen, but so tiny on yours. Yeah. So let's look at power consumption too on a system whole. You have issues with 105 even? It sounds like a bad panel. Are you making sure that you're using like a DisplayPort 1.4 cable and stuff like that? Why people are worrying about a CPU bottleneck? I mean, dude, the CPU bottleneck on what, like 1080 or something? I guess if you're a plebeian, but you had asked earlier about 700 watt PSU. Is that going to be enough? Let's see. Let's see what we got. Any thoughts on an ultra wide monitors in a 3080? Yeah, I've got an ultra wide monitor, and I bought a 3080 for it. So total system usage right now, 450 watts. GPU's using 320 watts. I think that might be the power cap, guys. PSU wattage right now is 451 from the wall. 3414, it's 3440 by 1440, yeah. I haven't actually played on it yet. The GPU is pulling 100% right now. So we see it peaking 320 watts. I think that's the top of the power play table, or whatever NVIDIA is going to call it. How many drives, LEDs, all that stuff do you have, or is that aspect minimal? It's all minimal. So what you see is what you get right now. All I'm running on this machine is a GPU, an NVMe, the AIO, and the RAM. I mean, dude, I will be in bronze playing on my 3080. No problem. So we're still at about 450 watts, 454. Peak power pull from the wall, I'm at 450 watts right now. This is running a 3700X. Not running any PBO or overclocked or anything like that. The only thing I've got on is XMP. So 3600 megahertz CL161919, I think, on these Micron E-dies. I don't think a few drives are going to push you up that high. I think that if you already have a 700 watt power supply, you're going to be fine. I think that the reason NVIDIA says you need a 750 watt power supply is so that way it puts you in a different tier of power supply than running like some shitty 500 watt thing you pulled out of a Walmart machine. I think that 650 plus is going to be fine. Personally, at least for this rig, it is. I don't have an Intel system to test on. I don't know what type of wattage those things are pulling. No, you can keep that kit. I don't want it. I've already got 2 sets of B-die. I can just pull one, I guess. Power cables, power supply. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's important, right? We just saw 320 watts get pulled from this. It's definitely important. If we come look at hardware info, it's going to tell us what it pulled through the 8 pins. So max power draw through each 8 pin, we see 142 watts, 148 watts, and then the rest from the PCI was 37 watts right there. So obviously it's going to be important to run quality cables, a quality power supply. But do I think that a 650 watt is going to cut it? Yeah, definitely. It's definitely going to cut it, because I didn't see, and this is just one game, right, or one test, but we didn't actually see it go over 455 watts from the wall. 200 point stock increase from stock. Yes, we are. Let's. What are we at right now? Are we at plus 20 or plus? Yeah, we're only at plus 20. Okay, so stop being dumb here. I don't remember what we changed, but we're just going to call this plus 20 2.0. All right. So let's keep going. We're going to go another 20 megahertz. You know what? I should. So I should just take one of these 8 pins out and we'll daisy chain it. Furmark and Prime 95. No, we'll run OCCT. How about that? We'll get OCCT going once we get a stable overclock here. So we're plus 40 megahertz. Let's test it. You know what? Fuck it, dude. We'll go plus 50. We're just going to take it. We're going to keep going. OCCT is very brutal. We'll stress the CPU and the GPU at the same time for sure. Yeah. We'll run OCCT here in a little bit. Also, I'm going to shamelessly plug some links here. So these Amazon link is my affiliate link. If you guys want to support the channel or the Discord, you know, in your browsing cards, click that Amazon link first before you make any purchases. I get like 1% back or something like that. So the 1K titanium rated. Yeah, I've got an AX 1200. Is that platinum? I don't know what the AX 1200 is. Maybe Amazon won't cancel your next order. Yeah. Also, I found out a cool thing. Gold or platinum? Yeah, I think it's platinum. I don't know. I can't see the sticker on it, and it's pretty like ghetto rigged right now. It's kind of it's. Oh wait, is that? No, this says HX 1200. HX 1200. The Patreon link is 404. See, I've never used Patreon either, so I mean, I don't know what I'm doing. Seasonic gang. I've got so in my main rig, I run a Seasonic 750 Platinum. But oh, I did copy the truncated link. You're right. But on this test bench, I just figured I'm going to throw my 1200 in here, so that way we're not hitting overcurrent limits or anything like that. No, this one works. This one works. I tested it. HX is platinum. Okay, so the test bench is running an HX 1200. Also, this is the first time I powered up this EVGA all-in-one, and the stock fans sound terrible. They sound disgusting. If you buy an EVGA all-in-one, put silent wings on it or put some Noctuas on it or something, because the stock fans sound terrible. The sound profile and hum is just annoying and horrible. All right, so still, guys, we're maxing out at 320 watts on the card. Unless we get an unlocked BIOS, the Ventus OC, I'm a little worried about it. But okay, so we hit 1980 megahertz. We're at 1920. So that's not too bad for stable 100%, I think. I would really like to see if we can hit 2000 under full load. Right now, our current power draw from the wall is 460 watts. And oh, we crashed, boys. That's it. Did it? Oh no, wait, we're going. We're still going. No, we crashed. Okay. So it didn't like plus 50 megahertz. It's unstable. Let's back it down 5 megahertz right now because we actually made it quite a ways. So maybe plus 45 is all this card's got at this power limit. And that would be really unfortunate. I would like to see this card at least hit 340 watts. I think a little the plus 20 watts might bring us out a little bit. Let's run this. We brought it down. Oh, wait, didn't we? Yeah, we did. Plus 45 instead of plus 50. We're not going to 2000. It's not happening. So we're going to run plus 45 on the core and see what happens. Has the highest power limit? Well, I mean, maybe once the NVIDIA flashing tool comes out for Ampere, we'll grab a For the Win 3 BIOS and throw it on here. Or one of those unlocked Zotac, or was it Galaxy BIOSes from the 2080 Ti's? I think either Zotac or Galaxy had the unlocked BIOS. We've still got 2 other cards coming also. So, hey, we'll see what happens. And one of those is a 3-pin. The Gaming X Trio I have coming in on Tuesday is a 3/8 pin. So we'll see what that actually relates to. It's not going to turn into some 400 watt card, but we'll see. So Travis, it really depends on if you need a new card right now, then grab what you can get, I guess. If there's a specific card that you want, I mean, I would suggest waiting for the right one to come your way. You have a 2080? Yeah, so I mean, maybe just wait for, I mean, because are you unhappy with your current card? Does it magically not work since the 3080 was released? Shoot it? I don't know about that. Oh, for the Reverb G2? Yeah, so Windows Mixed Reality. I hate that, man. But I mean, your 2080 is going to work just fine on the Reverb G2. Depending on what you're playing. I mean, for me, the only thing I play in VR is Beat Saber anyways. So currently we're pulling 445 watts from the wall. Beat Saber multiplayer. There is a mod for Beat Saber multiplayer. I don't know how well it works. I just remember seeing it when I was grabbing some mods. Yeah, well, it's going to boost to 2000. I just wanted to see what we're going to sit at wall at 100% load. It's coming out official? Really? That's cool. Zach, we're going to compete. Dude, yeah, if you don't have the custom song loader, I don't even know what you're doing with your life. Yeah, you need to be able to download songs and throw it in there. Are we crashing or are we good? We crashed, really? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Plus 40 is all this card's got. Is that what we're gonna see right here? Let's see. If we crash on plus 40, I'm gonna be so sad because that means that overclocking is dead. Yeah, OC edition, and well, OC edition, but still with a 320 watt power limit. What the heck? Yeah. Well, you did read that, and we're putting it to test right now and seeing what happens because that kind of sucks. Overclocking your wallet. Yeah, that's basically it. What do you guys think about overclocking? Do you guys usually overclock your cards, or do you just kind of like buy a pre-overclocked one and let it run at what it wants to do? Hey, look at that, 2070 megahertz. You let it be. Uh, does that change your opinion on card manufacturer importance? As far as OC goes, I don't care about. For me, card manufacturer, it doesn't really matter because I just throw a water block on everything, anyways. So it doesn't really matter to me. But find what features you want in a card. You know, do you want it a small card, a big card, a quiet card, a loud card? Do you want it pre-overclocked? It used to be much more noticeable years ago. Yeah. Yeah, I would say like the 980 Ti was the last overclocking king. They don't have USB-C on the 30 series I/O anymore. You would have to go back to the 20 series. They removed that. And you would probably have to get an FE card because not a whole lot of cards had that. Only Reference and FE and maybe some others. '980 Ti Kingpin was the true PC Master Race, yeah. I don't know if one of the AIBs had the USB-C thing, but all I remember was that Reference did, you know, Founders Edition did. Yeah, I have no idea about the AMD cards. I haven't. The last AMD card that I had for personal use was a 7970, and I had two of those in Crossfire. '980 Ti, man, it's time to hop on that 3070 train. So Tori, and you're in the Discord, right? Make sure that you got those notifications turned on for the tracking channels, and it'll send a push notification to your phone whenever stock hits. Rip. Yeah, me too. I mean, here's the thing though. We can blame scalpers all we want, but it really came down to they didn't have enough product at launch. This was a paper launch. They wanted to be first to the market with a cool new product before Big Navi came out and before the console season came out. But definitely for the FE cards, the scalpers did, you know, cause a lot of headaches, and nobody got an FE card. Yeah, I mean, like most people, I got World War Z for free on Epic, I think it was, but never played it. I'll be right back. All right, man. It looks like plus 40 might be all this card's got. A respectable 1691. All right. What have you guys seen anything on memory overclocks and what people are actually getting? What are we actually running on memory clock? Wait, that doesn't seem right. Oh yeah, no, that does. Okay, 19 gigabits per second. So plus 250 should bring us to 19.5. Yeah, so it looks like we peak out the card at 2100 megahertz on some things, but still I'd like to see what it is stable in an actual game. All right, so let's just run plus 250, see if that actually makes a difference for us on the memory. By the way, guys, somebody in the Discord chat said that the Zotac just went through. Their site still won't load. Ah, rip. Yeah, so this is the last run of this that I'm gonna do, and we'll just hit 19.5 gigabits per second on the memory, see if it's stable. We'll be able to validate with a higher or lower score. If we get a lower score, then that means that ECC was kicking in and we didn't crash, but the memory had so many issues to deal with that it stopped running at that actual speed. So the only thing that I know about Zotac is I've heard that they have terrible customer support. Z Danger has a Zotac card, I think, and doesn't have any issues with it. Yeah, I think the only problems that I've ever heard are they all come down to warranty issues and customer service and stuff like that. But I've also heard the same shit about Asus also. I heard Asus is terrible for graphic card warranties. If what you really care about is customer service, returns, warranties, service, then yeah, definitely. If what you really care about is customer service and stuff, EVGA is the king of customer service for NVIDIA video cards, bar none. You can, it's got a transferable warranty. They've got the step up program. You know, they're definitely the king when it comes to customer service. I've also heard really good things about MSI lately. That people haven't had any issues with MSI, like cross shipping cards and stuff like that. Yeah, well, I mean, the mini cards are definitely going to have thermal issues because they're mini. I mean, that's the name of the game. And if you buy a mini card, you're probably throwing it in a mini ITX case, which then, you know, it's going to be even slower, or I mean, it's going to be even more thermal throttled. So, pulling about 465 watts from the wall under load so far still. Did you have to, what did you have to RMA from EVGA? The SR2? You need to meme more in Discord. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I mean, I had to turn it off. I had to up slow mode to 10 minutes because things were getting a little crazy in there, and all it was just people re-spamming the same shit over and over and over and over. All right, yeah, it looks like our memory OC was definitely stable. So this is a good increase over stock. I think we'll keep that score, and we'll just say that's what we get with that. Kind of done running Time Spy. We've been running Time Spy for like an hour and a half. So this was plus 40 core plus 250 mem. Sweet. You see that? We're better than 99% of all the results. Average clock frequency, 1948. Okay. So where was that search doohickey at? So where do we fall for graphics score? Okay. Yeah, obviously everything at the top is going to be like a 9900K or a 10900K, something that's not going to CPU bottleneck at all, or is the baseline for the CPU bottleneck, I should say. All right, so we're probably pretty far down on the list, but average score 17,574, and we did 16,115. So that's pretty good. That's a win, definitely. Via software, I mean, you could use hardware info, and it'll tell you the most of the stuff. You can try and add it all together. Really, the best way though is to monitor it from the wall. Yeah, EVGA did say that there was thousands of stock coming next week. I would expect it to be across all retailers. Temp on auto fan. The temp on auto fan, we were sitting around 72 degrees Celsius. But right now we've got the fan cranked. And so CPU temperature on fan cranked is 55 degrees. Just because I wanted to make sure that we were getting the max clocks while running 3D Mark, obviously. Do I feel bad? No. So, one, I think that a lot of people are just doing it because FOMO, but at the same time, I think that a lot of people are having a good time trying to do it in kind of like this little community thing we got going on. So, holding out for 3080 with extra little VRAM. So, your 6700K is going to bottleneck a 3080. Yes. But at what resolution? At 4K? Yeah, 6700K is not going to bottleneck at 4K. That's going to be 100% GPU load. All right, so that was 3D Mark. We want to get OCCT going. And we're going to see how much power this thing actually pulls from the wall. In 8400, I mean, it's not gonna bottleneck much. It's going to bottleneck some. So the thing is that if you have a 10900K, that's the baseline for CPU bottlenecking. Any processor that isn't a 10900K is going to have a little bit worse FPS. So this isn't a benchmark per se. This is a stress test tool. And it's really gonna hit this hard. So that's what I want to see is if I were to synthetically just nail the GPU and CPU and everything like that, what is it going to look at? I love OCCT, man. It will crush your machine. Let's see. It looks a little bit different than the last time I used it, though. Let's just say fucking enroll with this. Oh, wait. You know what? There's a power one. Here we go. Yeah. No. So if you're running a power supply that's not enough watts, your overcurrent protection is going to kick in, and your power supply is just going to kill itself. It's going to turn off your machine. All right, guys. So we are crushing this system right now. I'm pulling 488 watts from the wall. So GPU power is 313 watts, 311, 310. Also, I mean, the 3700X is not a powerful. I mean, it's not a power hungry processor, which is what's great about it. So I'm under 100% load right now with the 3080 and a 3700X, and I'm pulling 485 watts from the wall. That's it. So it just runs a bunch of simulations in the background that, test your machine and force it to run calculations to make everything 100%. This is with PCI 4. This is a Gen 4. This is an X570 motherboard. And actually, GPU temperatures at 55C right now. I'm curious to see if we roll with auto fan, what the temps actually get up to while it's under full load. So this GPU is under full load right now. And let's see what the GPU temperature actually climbs up to on auto. Thoughts on vertical mounts? I think that if you run an X570 chipset and you run a vertical mount on an FE, that's a bad idea because you're just going to blow hot air directly into your chipset fan. And then your chipset fan is going to get louder, and small fans, the faster they go, they get much louder. Is this better than running Furmark and Prime 95 at the same time? I mean, I don't know, maybe. You have a B550? Dude, I don't know. I don't know that. So for me, I also don't I personally wouldn't run vertical cards in a case with air cooling if you have a glass side panel because that card is going to want more air than you're giving it if it's smashed up the side of a panel. So space it out some as far as you can, I guess. But I think that vertical mounts with air coolers is not the best idea. Maybe if you did a vertical mount with like a hybrid card, I think that would be fine. The 3080 hybrid from EVGA should be out. EVGA Jacob said October, November. But personally, I'm not a fan of shoving the card so close to the side panel to where the fans end up running faster and it gets louder because it's starved for air and it can't get any. So that's that. I mean, we can grab some games right now. I don't think I actually have anything installed on this, but I've got gig internet, so we can download anything. Any games in particular you guys want to see? I don't think I have anything installed on here. Wow, no, sorry. Not doing that. Is it a good card? Yeah, it's a good card. So the temps, it sets itself. It looks like it doesn't want to go above 72C on its own fan curve. Travis, I don't know. I'm actually pretty curious to see what happens there. And I've got a triple 8-pin card coming next week, and I'm gonna do that test where I piggyback one of those PCIe 8-pins. But I would really suggest, obviously, each one of them to have their own. The problem is once too much power starts going through the connectors, things melt. I've had a CPU 8-pin melt before. Exactly. Yeah. So that's what I want to see happen is how does the power get divided between the 3 pins? It's not going to be, it's not magically going to add 150 watts to the card. It's not just going to turn into a 450 watt card. It might turn into a 340 watt card or a 350 watt card. So we'll see. Horizon Zero Dawn. I think that's a huge install, isn't it? I don't know how long that would take to download. That might take a little bit. Maybe we can try Apex. It's competitively viable on 4K. I mean, I don't know. Is it? Well, shit. I don't remember what any of this is. I gotta look it up. And I've just had the screen off real quick while I log into this with my credentials and everything. No offense to you guys, but I don't trust you. All right, so let's download Apex Legends. Oh, that's 28 gigs. Shit. I thought that was smaller. All right, well, we'll get at least a playable real quick. Oh, we rolling. It's downloading at a gig a second. EA is letting us just bring it down. 4 minutes to download 28 gigs. Okay. We're zooming. Yep. It's definitely 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't put my password in there. No way. Not with the screen on. Hunter 2. Port Royale score? No, there was not. All I had was Time Spy, which we got 16,115. So all stock we had 15,797, and after our overclocks, we did plus 40 on the core and plus 250 on the mem. So 19.5 gigabits per second memory, which is what the 3090 is going to run, I believe. I will play with auto fan, yes, because I would like to see what clocks it's going to play as. I mean, you know, nobody's going to play with their card at 100% fan speed because they're not going to be able to hear anything. So this would be a realistic test playing through to see, you know, what temp on stock. This card was wanting to stay at 72 degrees Celsius. But then we set it to max fan while benching because it's benching, and we don't want to be thermal throttled. 73, yeah. It was somewhere around there. But you know what the most interesting part is? Is that what did we hit? 480 watts from the wall on our full. No, I'm sorry. That's only after we did a stress test. We did 480 watts. From average playing time, we did about 450 watts from the wall. Yeah, it was like 55 degrees Celsius with 100% fans. That's crazy good. That's crazy good. I have no doubt in my mind that this cooler right here is perfectly acceptable for anybody to use. So I ordered the cards. The whole reason that this Discord exists is because I set it up for personal use to try and get cards, you know, faster than anybody else. And I happened to turn on all the scripts and start monitoring everything and got everything going. And then the day before launch, Newegg posted a card, and then I just it Discord notified me, and I went and bought it. And then they posted another card, and I went and bought that one too. I don't have Battlefield 5, no. And this is also at 4K. So got two cards on the 16th, which is the day before launch. No ability to increase power. It was running at 320. It was maxing out at 320 watts. Well, Ian, I don't know yet. This is the first time we've turned on this card, so we're gonna figure it out right now. This cooler can absolutely handle more power. I don't know how much more power this particular core can handle because we went plus 40 and that's all it could take. We did plus 45 and it crashed on the core. So I guess we're going to see what happens. But yeah, I would love to see what a little bit more power could do with this chip, but it seems like in general, this Samsung 8 nanometer fab is pretty tapped to its limit already. I did make this channel. Yeah, I did just make it. And the thought was that's why I actually ordered 3 RTX 3080s, is so that way I could review them and compare temps and benchmarks and overclocks and stuff like that. So I've got 3 3080s. Once I'm done with the reviews and the benching and everything like that, I'm just going to get rid of 2 of them, and I'll get rid of them at the same price that I paid for them. I'm not going to scalp people on them or make a huge profit. You know, I that's not what I want to do. And if Z Danger doesn't get a card one day, maybe he can take one of the 3 that I get. We also have the Gigabyte. I think it's either the Gaming X or it's the Eagle. I don't know. They look so similar. Oh, and this will be interesting because I don't have any sound. Dude, people have been asking me for them since I started the server. Oh, but long story short, after I got those cards, I figured, hey, why don't I just make this Discord public for everybody? And now it's open for everybody. I posted it in a couple of comments on Reddit, and everybody just started hopping in. And it was on launch day. It was pretty banging because a lot of people were able to get cards from it. It was pretty cool. Sound is a crutch? I know. I've got no sound, so we'll see what happens. Only US stock alerts, yeah. Okay, I haven't played this game in a hot minute, and I don't have a whole lot of room to move my mouse either, so this is going to be very interesting. But let's see what kind of numbers we get. And let's look at the settings real quick. Full screen, 4K. Let's make sure VSync is off. Disable VSync. Let's set everything else to max. But the thing is, though, JF Fletch, is that a lot of people in the chat, if they are from a different country or a different local, is that they will start posting when things start hitting. So I mean, it's not all a loss. All right, let's see what happens. But yeah, no sound, I think. Is that the Zotac DE card? Oh, Ventus. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that one of those went up. So this is the card I'm playing on right now. Yeah, I expect that you'll be able to see pretty much the same stuff. Oh, I did not want to play Bloodhound, but that's okay. So this will be interesting. We'll see what our average. In fact, I'm just going to open up hardware info real quick, and I'm going to reset it. Oh, we're not even running it. Because I would like to track average. All right, cool. I mean, this is pretty cool playing at 90 FPS 4K. Like this is only a 60 hertz monitor, but still being able to see, us hitting over 100 frames per second on 4K. That's something that wasn't even possible like a couple years ago. I forgot you actually have to pick up loot in this game. But yeah, we're sitting at 71C, 1900 megahertz, 1950 power draw. We're hitting max at 320 watts. This is a new map. I've never seen this. It levels out on the ground. Yeah, dude, this is 144 FPS. Wait, hold on. Why are we limited to 144? What? Why? This card. Okay. Is there an FPS limiter running somewhere? Because why are we at 144 FPS and not breaking that? No, we don't have anything running that looks like it would limit us. I can go into NVIDIA settings after this, but still hitting 144 FPS at 4K. Dude, this card's a beast. Who no Oh, yeah, it could be the game's engine cap also. Um it, I guess it depends on the game that you play, but I mean, I don't know why I would go with a 3090 if you can play if you can play with a 3080 at 4K at 144 FPS. That's just crazy. There's a cap somewhere because I'm rushing these dudes and I have no gun yet. It looks like it's pretty locked. Oh no, we hit 145 hertz or 145 FPS. And I've got no sound, so I need to go somewhere else. I need to get out of here. But yeah, dude, this is crazy. 144 FPS on 4K with a card that was $699. Can I console in here? I don't have a console. Oh, you have to do it in Origin. All right, well, let's just, you know what? Sorry, dude. Our buddy, we already lost somebody. It's okay. He's not going to care. From the Origin launcher, so I'm going to open Origin, and then where am I going? I'm going to the game library, go to the game, and properties. Advanced launch properties, command line arguments. Any fan noise? Dude, this thing's silent. I can't hear it over my laptop fan. It is so silent. Oh, thanks, Zach. Plus FPS underscore max. What was that? Unlimited. Nice. All right, let's see what we get now. Fan on max is loud, yeah, obviously, but dude, I don't know what conditions. If you have a case with good airflow, you're not going to hit max. No way. Battlefront 2 with ray tracing. Does Battlefront 2 have ray tracing? Is that a thing? I can download it, sure. Dude, that's 90 gigs. Do we want that? I don't think Battlefront 2 has. No, you're thinking of that. They made a custom video for that. That one with Captain Phasma. That was a custom video they made. Do any of these have RTX? You know what I do have that has RTX is yeah, I'm listening to synthwave right now. That's it. We've got Call of Duty. So let me download BattleNet. I don't have Battlefield 5. Right? It's not in here. Trial? Oh, I've got 10 hours left in the trial. I can play that. Sure. It's going to be a 90 gig download. Shouldn't take too long. Oh, you know what? Where's the settings to... There's settings somewhere that allows you to download at full speed while you have another game running, right? Maximum download limit, no limit. Okay. Then why are we going so slow? I don't believe it. And also, oh, there's 300 megahertz or 300 FPS. So I'm going to let that download real quick. Why is it? I don't believe this. It says that there's no limit during gameplay, but I really don't believe it. Let's see if I hit 50 megabytes per second. Does it change? Or is it staying at 2.5? It's staying at 2.5. Lies. There's some lies going on. Dude, I just downloaded this other game though I downloaded Apex at 1 gig a second. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I tried to cap it and it didn't. Dude, look, see now it's going up. It lies. It doesn't. This game's lying. You see that? We're going up. Even though under the download restrictions I say no limit. Origin is so broken. It's so terrible. Okay, so I'm just gonna let that run and try to launch the game and see what happens. Because I know there were quite a few people asking for Apex numbers. So let's just see what happens. Because that's freaking crazy. I didn't think that we were going to see 144 FPS at 4K. But, like the power that this card has is insane. Oh, it took us back into the game that we were in. Okay. Apparently we're still alive. There's 150, 165 FPS at 4K. Come on, that's silly. Also, again, no sound, so I have no idea what is going on here. I could be getting shot at and I won't even know it. Yeah, this is at 4K, 150 FPS, 160, 140. This is insane. 1965 megahertz, 1920. So what it's going to do is the card's optimal target for GPU temperature is 72 degrees Celsius. It's going to downclock the card as much as it needs to keep hitting that 72 degrees. 1440p 1440p minimum settings. Why? Because you just want to see it go to 200 FPS. Oh, look at that. This is 200 FPS right here. Yeah, 200 FPS plus is competitive, but are there a lot of 1440p 240 FPS monitors out right now? It's funny that when we left this game, we were in the middle of the... Oh, I'm going to get shot at here. I have no sound! I can't see anything! I died. So if you put it in a case, will it downclock it? Yes, it's going to, unless you have really good airflow. You need to not have it vertically mounted up against a window panel, and you need to make sure that your case has good airflow. Hey, squad placed 5th, by the way. Okay, that was all me. And I don't have any speakers plugged in either, so it kind of sucks. All right, so somebody wanted me to go to the training grounds. I don't even know how to get there. Firing range? Firing range. And you want me to what? Get a whole bunch of thermites and start throwing them all over the place? Yeah, and run across them? Okay. Data science, what kind of monitor do you run? Okay, so those drop instantly. All right, so I'm dropping down. I think it looked like I hit 70 FPS there, or 72. 80, 96, 107, 80, 88, 95. Oops, I didn't know you could die in here. And this is at 4K. So, dude, it's awesome. This card, the 3080, I don't know why anybody would buy a 3090, to be honest. It's extremely solid. Like, we're sitting at 140, 130 FPS at 4K. Like, it's just unheard of. So you want me to try 1440p minimum? I can try it. It might mess up the stream real quick. In fact, before I do minimum, I'm going to just try it at maximum. And see what your FPS is. So, data science, what monitor do you have? What's the most demanding game we can throw it at 4K? Well, I'm downloading VF5 right now. See, look, it's slowed back down because the game is playing. The Origin launcher is broken. It doesn't do what it says it's supposed to do. It says no limit, but there is a limit. Red Dead Redemption is pretty maxed. Okay, I can get Red Dead Redemption. I have that. Let's close this out real quick. I'm going to let this keep downloading. Battlefield 5, since it has RTX. Control is also demanding. So wait, what's with the stream? Oh, it's wait. Stream's a bit scuffed, by the way, with the in-game settings. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it's Apex. I'm streaming off of. I've got this. The benching rig is plugged in. It has a HDMI out into a cam link plugged into my laptop. If this card can give me 4K ultra settings, well, in what game? It does in Apex. In Apex, we were hitting 144 in average gameplay, and during running through bombs, we went down to 80. So that's downloading at a gig right now. I think it can do that too. I have no doubt. I have no doubt. $1440p minimum. Okay, well, I mean, if we were testing 1440 high and it was at 200 FPS, it's going to be off the charts. I can't wait to play Cyberpunk 2077 with this card either. I think that's going to be awesome. This is a 3700X. So, okay, this is playable now. There's a way to do it somehow. Doesn't let you push play even though it's playable. Oh, there it is. Does it? Dude, I don't know. Good question. I figured that playable just meant it 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 probably only loaded like the intro or something. It's not going to be CPU bound at 4K. Red Dead after this. Let me grab it real quick. How do you turn RTX on? This didn't let me change anything. Oh, I have to hit apply. I'm done. What FOV on this game should we be at? I did not play Warzone yet. 90? Okay. I've never played this game. Or maybe I did like the demo. Okay. Where do you turn RTX on? Oh, advanced up here. Sorry, the overlay is kind of blocking some stuff. Frame rate limiter, none. Okay, we can't do that. We can set it to 200. Ultra. DX12. Are we going to try DLSS on or off? All right, well, we'll try with DLSS off. What the heck is up with my colors? Something is going crazy. This looks disgusting. I could do DLSS, I just didn't turn it on. I gotta turn my monitor off and on. It's doing something weird after I launched that game. Huh. My colors look all washed out or something. It looks fine on your guys' screen, but on mine, the colors are like super washed out looking. I don't know what happened. I think I need to bounce this box. All right, this is going to restart real quick. No, PCI 3. It's the HP EX 950, 500 gigs. Right, everything's back to normal. Let's go back to our, what we have, plus 40 and then plus 250. And we'll set this to 100 even though it doesn't work or do anything. And did that open up RTS? It did. And what are you guys going to be playing on? Mostly like 1440p monitors out there, or what? Fourteen forty 240, nice. $4K 60. The 3080 seems like the perfect card for a 4K 60. Absolutely. Yeah, I could definitely recommend this card for pretty much anything. $4K 144 hertz ultra. What do you mean with hopper? Am I dumb? What's a hopper? But we were playing Apex and we were, easily getting 150 FPS in 4K running around on the ground. A 1080p 240? I'd be interested in a 3070 for that. Hey, yeah, no problem, man. Have a good one. How do we skip past this stuff? Oh, come on. This is painful. Yeah, I'm pretty surprised that the power was so low, actually. I don't think that 750 watt recommendation is realistic, but I get that they're saying you want a strong power supply for this. And this cutscene's locked to 30 FPS. Oh, I might not have the latest Windows update. I might be running a really old version of Windows on this, like 1809 or something like that. Oh, we're on 1909. Okay, that's not too bad. But we should get on 2004. And I'd be curious to see if our performance increases a little bit, especially with all of the Ryzen CPU scheduling stuff that's changed. And I think there was DX12 changes, right, in 2004. I don't remember. This is Battlefield. I can't get out of it. It's not letting me out. Okay, so is this rendering live? This is 60 FPS. Okay, great. There we go. So VSync must be on because we're stuck at 60 FPS. Thought we turned everything off. Oh, high dynamic range. I need to turn this off because I think that's what's messing with my screen. And VSync off. All right, so here's 4K RTX on everything. It actually looks really nice. 4K. We're dipping down into the 40s. You can definitely feel it. Maybe if Battlefield 4 is your game, or Battlefield 5 is your game, then get a 3090 if you play 4K. Hold R to pick up something. Again, no sound or anything. Oh, this is the same gun. Oh, are we crashing? No. We just froze for a second there. Try with DLSS. Yeah, I'll put DLSS on right now. I don't know if it's gonna make me restart the. Okay, so with DLSS on, much higher frame rates. I'm shooting my own dudes. Am I gonna get hit by a train right here? Oh, a tank. No, this is DLS 1.0, yeah. Well, I think that for DLS 2.0, it's not just for FPS, but the way that it looks is much closer to native rendering than DLS 1.0 looks. But yeah, no, this is. I mean, I would say that this looks pretty good for 4K. I mean, oh, cool. We're gonna drive the tank. My opinion on the card, I think that this card is great. I think it's amazing. I think the 3080 is the king right now. I'm interested to see what Big Navi actually looks like, but I find this card awesome. I mean, I'm not a 4K gamer. I play on 3440 by 1400. But if I was a 4K gamer, I would probably buy this card. Especially when playing games, and this is with RTX on. So I mean, what's the end goal? Is the end goal 144 hertz with RTX on at 4K? I don't know. We were playing Apex and getting 150 FPS in 4K with Ultra. So I mean, I think this card's great. I assume we can't die in this mission, right? I'm going backwards. This kind of sucks. I'm getting shot from everywhere. Oh, you were supposed to die. I see. I was like, this doesn't seem right. I just keep dying. And I have no audio, so I can't tell what's actually going on. And RTX is on. Yeah. That's why it's like 4K RTX on, over 60 FPS. Does it get better than that? Oh, I missed. But yeah, 4K RTX on, 80 FPS. Not bad. Not bad at all. I should load up Control though, and see how that looks on this. I'd be interested. Is there like a storytelling going on in the background right now or something? Because like there's nothing to shoot at, and I can't hear anything. Which DLS mode you want? I just turned it to DLS on in this game. I don't think that there was an option for anything else. Dude, this is gonna be way better than your 280X. This is pretty crazy to see 4K gaming like this with RTX on. And what do we got? 70C, 72C. So yeah, this GPU really favors sitting around 72 degrees Celsius, and that's how it kind of bases its power limits, or its core boost. Excuse me. Roll. Control and Flight Simulator. Yeah, I definitely need to try those. It's not going to be tonight. I'm probably going to be ending here soon. I've been going for over a couple hours and need a break. But yeah, no, this has been pretty cool. It's been fun, interesting. Yeah, dude, this upgrade is going to be huge for you from a 280X. Night and day difference. And you know what? The fan's not going to sit at 100% and sound as loud as a jet plane. I can't control anything. Oh, am I going to get shot down here? Yeah, we've got an overclock on right now. I can reset it back to default, but this is with a plus 40 core and plus 40 core and plus 250 on the MEM. But it favors 72 degrees. I mean, I don't know. It's just its boost target, I guess, in the firmware. I mean, we could probably change, do like an OC scanner and let it do its own overclock and stuff like that. But it seems like it's not. It doesn't have a whole lot of room to go. Hey, we hit 326 watts. That's cool. Oh, in fact, we should check actual gaming power usage here. So 470 watts, 475 watts. From the wall with RTX on. I could, yeah. I mean, really, to see the difference, we would probably need to run a benchmark, and then we would need to change it and then run the benchmark again. What resolution is being displayed, chat? Oh, this is 4K. Yeah, this is a 4K playthrough on this. With RTX on, DLSS enabled. So even in this intense battle scene here, we're getting what, close to 70 FPS at 4K. It's pretty solid. It's pretty impressive. But yeah, so that's probably going to conclude this session. Thanks for hanging out and stuff. Again, if you're going to, if you want to support the channel, use my affiliate links on Amazon. Check out my Patreon that we've got set up. It goes to, supporting the channel and, everything I'm doing, trying to get everybody cards. So it's been super cool. We'll do this again, and PM me some games that you want to see benchmarks on, and I'll be a little bit better prepared with actually having them downloaded and stuff. You do not have to cancel the order for the Ventus. The Ventus is a good card. It's a solid performer. I see nothing wrong at all with that card. I have nothing to compare it to yet. My other cards won't be here till next week. I've got a Gaming X Trio and a Gigabyte Eagle coming. But there's nothing wrong with this card. It's the triple fans keep it nice and cool. It's great. It's great. I would suggest that if you were able to snag one of these, what were they, $6.99, I think? Good job. There's no problem with these. But all right, thanks guys.